Welcome back to Awaken, the second part of our series with Pastor Gennadiy from Ukraine. I'm so excited that I was able to sit down with him and that you're able to hear his story. He and his wife adopted a crazy amount of orphans, and just their story, their church, and how they responded when the Soviet Union collapsed with social needs around them and what they did. It's very intriguing story, and I hope that you'll be encouraged by it and you'll stay tuned to hear what happened.
Okay, so let's get into the whole, your family story is so unique. You have 3 biological children, and you adopted how many kids again?
35.
35.
And I have 35 grandchildren now from my adopted and one biological grandson.
Okay, so me and my husband adopted 1 child, and I can't imagine, and we have 3 total, and I cannot imagine having 38.
Nobody follow me, please. Nobody never adopt 35. It's not good idea. It's not model for following.
It's not a model.
That's good model. 1 children for
family.
Yeah.
Tell me how that came about. Why did you adopt 35 kids?
We had crazy situation in my city when Soviet Union destroyed. We had completely social collapse in former Soviet Union territory,
and that was true of most of Soviet Union. You'd said, right? Or
yeah.
A lot of Soviet Union.
Yeah,
and society collapsed.
And it was collapse, infrastructure collapse, and government collapse, and so many children was on the street. They live on the street many years.
Like their parents died, or
some of them alcohol addict, drugs addicted. Some of them die, and so many children go to the street and start live on the basement, on the top of the roof, everywhere. And when we saw them, we just first idea was just prepare food for them and help them with food and just talking about God. But later, some of them came to my church and say, we want to be Christians. We want to live in your church. Wow. And we don't understood in that time.
They wanted to live
it was
in your
the
church?
Beginning. Yeah, they came and started living in my church. And later we start adopt them, and we start our orphanage, children rehab center. This is the biggest children rehab center former Soviet Union. More than 4,000 children go through this Republic Pilgrim, the name of. Now, about my orphanage, produced many movie, even guy from Hollywood who had 3 Oscar nominated, Cannes Festival winner, and produced movie about my children, about my ministry. But when we did it, we don't think about nothing like it. We just give them food, just preach the gospel. And later we saw more and more fruit. They came to church, came to Jesus, and their life started changing. Later I started adopt somebody from them, and my friends from my church started adopt children, orphans, homeless before. Wow. And we have many adopted family in my church.
And you were telling me that a lot of these kids were homeless for years on the streets. Many of them were addicted to drugs, alcohol, you name it, right?
Yeah, biggest part of my adopted sons and daughters, they was homeless. From 5, from 6, from 4. One of my adopted son was homeless boy from 2.5. Can you imagine, 2.5-year boy who live on the street separately with no family, nobody care about. He can speak, but he start to live on the street. This is why we adopt them. With not so many people ready for adopt homeless boy when he is 12, and when he had huge experience from 5, and but we try do it and go ahead, and we saw amazing result.
What's been your greatest joy with all of your children, all 38 of them? What's your greatest joy?
When I saw how they go to church with their children, with my grandchildren, when I saw how they build their family, this is the biggest award for me. It's something special.
They're building Ukraine.
Yeah.
What's been one of your greatest challenges with that?
with my adopted.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge, just be with them. They need somebody who will stay with them through part of their life. They need family. This is the biggest need what they need. Very often, in my country, we have many orphanage. When people give them food, give them some medicine or furniture and dress, but the biggest need for children, family. They need family atmosphere more than all of that. And I told for people when they will have family, it's like tourist business. When you bought ticket for vacation, all include
All inclusive.
family, all inclusive, education, food, medicine, everything. They need family, and
God's helped you provide for all 38, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly,
That's an incredible
it's a
story.
miracle.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a miracle.
Well, are there any scriptures that stand out to you that you'd like to encourage our audience with today, or anything else that you'd like to say to people?
Just go through your storm with faith. Don't give up. Try keep yourself more strong with Jesus, with Christian faith, and go through. Doesn't matter what kind of storm. And God bless your way. God give power for you through all fire, through all crazy story. Just go ahead with faith, with Christian faith, with God, with love. How big a storm we can go through.
One thing I was going to say is that I met you in 2018, and you were taking a bike ride with some of your boys, and you were going around the world, and your last leg was from LA to Miami, and you stopped here in Tyler. And I'll never forget that. It was just so unique. And you had a message about a world without orphans. And now I just want our viewers to know that your orphans finally made it to Germany, right?
Part of my orphanage in Germany now. Part of my adoptive families go to Finland.
Okay.
Some of them stay in west part of Ukraine.
So they really are scattered.
Some
are
of
here
them
in
right
Thailand.
here.
Yes.
Some of my sons and grandsons here.
So you're scattered around the world.
Let me say big thanks for everybody who pray about my country, who stay with Ukraine through this crazy story. Pray about. Now I recommend for you about go through storm, but please pray about me through my storm now. I need power from
He does need prayer, and he was telling me that most nights he has PTSD. You can imagine going through all this, and he has nightmares often, and I'm sure some of your family members do too. So pray for he and his wife and all their children and their church members. And if you're a person that feels motivated to help support he and his orphans, we're going to leave that information in the comments section so that you can be a part of that if you'd like to be. Or you can contact us for more information. So anyway, thanks again just for...
Thank you so much. And one more time, thanks for your ministry for help Ukrainian refugee people now. This is a big deal.
Well, it's a small thing, but it's an honor. And we're opening a refugee center in southwestern Poland. And we send teams every 2 weeks, actually, to Poland and Ukraine to encourage people and minister to them, especially work with kids and people that have been traumatized. So if you're a person that would like to go in a team, you can contact us at MercyWorks.org. I'll put that in the comments section too. And so there's lots of ways to get involved and help the people of Ukraine. Anyway, thank you for your example, for being faithful, and thanks for coming today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thanks for tuning in.
Can you imagine adopting 35 orphans? I can't, but I'm super glad that Pastor Gennadiy was here with us today and grateful that you tuned in. The people of Ukraine need a lot of help in this season. There are 6 million people that evacuated into Poland and more into surrounding regions. There's over 100,000 orphans, like Pastor Gennadiy's orphans, that need help. We are helping them every week.
We're helping other people as well. If you want to get involved, you can check out opportunities at MercyWorks.org. You can give donations that will help buy food and housing, supply housing for them. And also we send teams every 2 weeks. We've established a refugee center by purchasing a hotel that I referred to in southwestern Poland, and we're staffing that. So there's all kinds of ways you can get involved. If you'd like to, let us know. You can send us an email at mercy@mercyworks.org. Thanks again for tuning in. God bless you.